Welcome back to the Poke Report. I'm Haley Ryan alongside Thomas Fleming. And Thomas, many OSU teams are wrapping up their spring seasons with May being less than a week away. In the history of college basketball, there have only been 8 head coaches to record 800 or more career wins. But only one of those coaches has been left out of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Veterans Day might be in November, but people can pay their respects to veterans on any day.
The Simple Bar eventually expanded into a bigger building with a full restaurant, which now serves Joe's most favorite dish, sweet pepper bacon cheese fries.
Thanks, Tanner. I am here right across the street from the site of the new O'Brate Stadium, which is supposed to open next season. Sabrina can pass, she can shoot, and she can also rebound. But Dee Dee is the best defensive player right now, and she knows how to read the defense on the offensive side. Gabe Simpson is an Oklahoma State athlete who is used to spending his early mornings, weekdays, and his entire Saturdays in Boone Pickens Stadium. But now, half of his time is also spent right here in Gallagher-Iba Arena as a new member of the Oklahoma State men's basketball team. Previously, residents were forced to attend a program on firearm safety to require a carry permit. The new law, however, will loosen restrictions for gun owners. Over the past 6 weeks, there have been a series of bombings and shootings across 3 countries: churches, mosques, and now a synagogue. In the history of college basketball, there have only been 8 head coaches to record 800 or more career wins, but only one of those coaches has been left out of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, and that's former OSU men's basketball coach Eddie Sutton. Coach Sutton was one of 4 finalists on the 2019 ballot to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and for the 6th time, he fell short of being honored.
Well, I worked with Coach Sutton for 6 years, and it was probably 6 of the best professional years of my career. You know, one of my most exciting times was going to the Final Four, and that was, of course, with Coach Sutton. He was an excellent coach, a great human being, really cared about his kids, cared about his staff, and I always felt like I was part of the family when I worked with Coach Sutton and the basketball team.
The Cowboy family took to Twitter when they realized that Coach Sutton was being left out yet again. Doug Gottlieb posted a tweet that generated almost 4,000 likes, saying, "Really disappointing news. Eddie Sutton was informed today he is not getting into the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame. Coach Sutton remains the only coach with over 800 D1 wins not in the Hall of Fame. This is a complete travesty. Hashtag put Eddie in."
East Coast bias, I certainly think, plays a role in that. You never see a coach that's consistently been on the East Coast throughout their careers not get in.
The inductee who beat out Coach Sutton is Bill Fitch, a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year with over 900 wins in the NBA. His stats compared to those of Coach Sutton, who has over 800 wins, was the first coach to take 4 different schools to the NCAA tournament, and was a 4-time National Coach of the Year.
I think my biggest fear is that Coach Sutton may not be around by the time they finally do induct him in, whether it be a change in voters or whatever.
Although Coach Sutton has not been recognized by the Hall of Fame, he is heavily celebrated by OSU athletics. He regularly attends home games where he has floor seats on what is now his own Eddie Sutton Court. For the O-State Report, I'm Haley Ryan. Eskimo Joe's began as a simple bar in 1975 and quickly grew into what is now one of the most popular destination spots in Stillwater.
The inception of Eskimo Joe's was absolutely a wild hair. It was a Sunday afternoon. I'm at a friend's house. He walks in, he goes, "Hey, Clark, I'm going to open a bar." I go, "Hey, Phil, that's a neat idea. I'll go in partners with you." We drove down to what's now Eskimo Joe's, and bada bing, 15 minutes later, we shook hands and decided to rent this building here at 501 West Elm.
Originally, the building was a lot smaller, consisting of a bar downstairs and Stan Clark's apartment upstairs. The carpentry work in the bar was actually done by Stan himself, and it still stands in its original form.
The Simple Bar eventually expanded into a bigger building with a full restaurant, which now serves Joe's most favorite dish, sweet pepper bacon cheese fries.
Stan says the cheese fries did not become a signature item until one special afternoon in May of 1990.
In the year 1990, when President Bush did the commencement exercise here at then Lewis Field, now Boone Pickens Stadium, of course, one of his first comments was, "I wish Barbara could be with me here. She did tell me to get a beer and some cheese fries over at Eskimo Joe's."
Aside from the fries, Joe's prides itself on their involvement with many different organizations.
Stan always likes to say that Eskimo Joe's shares the big grin for the greater good. We are so honored that we're in a position, because of our customers and because of our popularity, to be able to do some great things in and around our community.
Eskimo Joe's is unique not only to Stillwater, but to the entire nation. Many people come to town just to get a bite of the famous cheese fries and experience the overall atmosphere. Eskimo Joe's isn't just a bar, it's a place to make memories with family and friends. And the coolest part? Joe's is still located in the exact same spot that it was in 1975. So if you're ever feeling like a good time, then go down to Eskimo Joe's. For Pete's Corner, I'm Haley Ryan. Gabe Simpson is an Oklahoma State athlete who is used to spending his early mornings, weekdays, and his entire Saturdays in Boone Pickens Stadium. But now, half of his time is also spent right here in Gallagher-Iba Arena as a new member of the Oklahoma State men's basketball team. After head coach Mike Boynton dismissed 3 players from his roster, OSU football player Gabe Simpson saw a unique opportunity.
Me and the football guys play a lot at the Colvin. We play pickup games a lot, and then we heard that some of the players got cut and they're having tryouts. And some of the football guys were supposed to try out with me, but they didn't.
When he showed up to try out, Coach Boynton was unaware that he was already a student athlete.
He came up, we didn't have any information on him, and he says, I'm here for the tryout. We're like, well, you can't work out if you don't have the paperwork done. He's like, well, what if I'm already on a team? And I was like, well, if you're already on the team, then I need to talk to your coach.
With approval from his coaches, Simpson was named one of 5 players added to the roster. Even though he is now a dual athlete, he still maintains a 4.0 and even attends optional football workouts.
We got in from Texas Tech at 1 o'clock, and he had football workouts at 6 in the morning. Then he had practice at 2:30.
J.K. Hadlock told me most people wouldn't put forth that much effort, but he's not surprised that Simpson does.
I feel like that's not fair to the other teammates who have to go, so I just keep going.
Football's Assistant Director of Operations, Rod Johnson, said Simpson's dedication is important to head coach Mike Gundy.
He does everything we ask him to do. It's awesome. Coach Gundy totally admires Gabe for doing that.
Simpson is a walk-on player for both teams, but he's on a full academic scholarship majoring in chemistry pre-med. Coach Boynton said what Simpson does isn't easy, especially doing it for 2 teams, and spoke on what it says about him.
He's really committed to trying to excel at a really high level. Shows his commitment to this university.
After this season, Simpson will head back to football for spring ball, which begins next week. For the O State Report, I'm Haley Ryan.